everyone and welcome. In the last video, this was where we stopped. We were able to get the weather information of a particular location and also show the weather forecast for the next 4 days. Now in this video, we'll be looking at two things. We'll be looking at extracting the geo coordinates from our devices to get the current location and use the longitude and latitude to get the name of the city that you currently have and pass that city to the Open Weather API to get the weather information. Also, the second thing we'll be doing is we'll be using the same geo-coordinate data to get a popular image of your current location and use it as our background image. All right, before I continue, I want to give a special shout out to Kim Philpotts. Thanks for subscribing. If you don't know Kim is a streamer. He usually do live streaming on Xamarin Forms on Twitch. And if you don't know him, you see the link in his live stream below. You can follow him on Twitch. Kim usually show how to do a lot of cool animation in using Xamarin Forms, and it's a good source of inspiration. So endeavor to check that out. All right. Also, before I continue, I want to announce to you that Xamarin Form 4.4 is out, and in 4.4, we have support for GIF animation, support for we have carousel view and indicator view that are based on the collection view. We also have the swipe view in Xamarin Forms 4.4. So endeavor to check it out and see what you can do with Xamarin Forms 4.4. Okay, without wasting time, let's get started with our work for today. So the first thing I'm going to do is to update my NuGet packages. Let's update the Xamarin Forms. So I'll just go to updates. Let me see the updates that is available. I'll just select all and update. Now at this point you want to be sure that you have Xamarin Essentials installed. If you don't have it installed, please do install it. If you already have it installed, make sure it's up to date because we'll be making use of it to get the geo coordinates. So I'm going to accept this and let it install. Okay, so we have that installed for us successfully. So at this point, I will start to change some things here. The first thing I want to do is to get my I want to convert this to a property instead of a field. Get the getter and the setter there like this, and the default value will be Highland just in case we are unable to get any location. And also I want to get two more properties of type double. This one is the latitude, and I want to get another one is the longitude. Okay, so after this, what we're going to do is to let's create a method to extract the geo coordinates. So at this point, I'm going to say let's create a method private async void. Let's call it get coordinate. Now in this place, let's put in a try catch. Okay, let's get the request. let's get the request out. Instead of throwing, let's just say if we have any exception, let's write it to the console. So that's right line. So if you have any exception, we want to be able to see it in our console. Okay, in real life application, you probably want to catch this exception and probably log it using App Center to see what went wrong. Okay, so in this method, the first thing we're going to do is to make a request. Let's call this request. Let's make a request to the geolocation request. The geolocation request is in the Xamarin Essentials. So let's resolve the using statement, and let's set the accuracy that we want. We have different accuracy. We have best, default, high, low, lowest, and medium. So let's just select the best. We want to get the best results. All these things have implication on the power usage. So you want to be careful what you use. The best results we use the most power to obtain uh, the geo coordinates, and it's usually within 10 meters. So, but since I'll be using the emulator, I'm not bothered about this right now. So the next thing we want to do is to get our location out. Let's put it in the variable, and let's get it out from the request. So let's call the geolocation class dot get. So you can get there are different ways to get. You can get the last known location. This one will not be an accurate result. It will just give you the last known location. But the one we want to use to get location async, and we want to pass in the request. I want to pass in our request. I forgot to assign this. Okay. So now at this stage, we want to check if our location is not null. That's when we want to make use of the location information. So it's just defensive programming. So if location is not equal to null, then let's extract the geocoordinate out. So we want to get so our latitude, the property that we have, latitude equals location dot latitude, and our longitude equal to location dot longitude. Now, the next thing we want to do before we call our weather information is to reverse to do geocoding of a reverse geocoding of the coordinates. So for us to be able to get the city information. So what I'm going to do is, since we already have a field called location, we have a field called location here. We have this location. What I'm going to do is to assign the results of the reverse geocoding. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do say location. So location equals I'm going to create a method here, say get city, and I'm going to pass in this location information because I want to be able to use the longitude and latitude information from there. So let us pass in the location. This is a method I have not created, so I'm just going to create the method now. Control dot generate method get city. Okay, so this is our method called get city, and it returns a string. I'm going to make this async. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is let's call let's save current, or let's say place, place equals and wait. So what we want to do is want to get the place mark. There is a method called place mark, get place mark async in the geocoding class. So geocoding dot get place mark async. We're going to pass in the location. Okay. So what we now want to do is this will return an array of an I enumerable of place mark. So so let's say places. Let's call this places, and now save current current place equals places. Let's check if our places is not null. If it's not null, let's get the first or default value out. Okay, so now since we have this, if let's check if our current place is not null, and we'll get some value out of it. So let's check if current place is not null, then we want to return the city name with the country name, the city name with the country name. So I'm going to do something like this. I'm going to format the string in this manner. So the city name, comma, and the country name. So our city name is in current place dot locality. You see locality here, and our country name is current place dot country name. Country name. If you want to get the country, if you want to get other information such as um, country code, admin area, feature name, and some other information, you can get them in this from this object. Okay, so if our current place is not null, then we should return this string. If it is null, then just let's return null at this stage. Okay, from this method, we will return the current city, which is in the locality, and the country name, and pass it to our location. And this location is what we are going to use to get our weather information. That's what we have passed before. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is at this stage, I'm going to remove this from here and call the get coordinates from here. Get coordinates from here, and after we get our location, I'm going to call the get weather info. All right. Before we run this now, let's see. There's one last thing we need to do. We need to add some uh, permission into our Android manifest. So we have to use the permission to get location and some other permission. So I'm going to copy the permission, the required permission and feature use, and paste it here. So we are requesting for coerced and find location. We want to use the internet. Then feature that we're using is location, GPS, and network. They are not required. We decide to set it to not required. Okay, so with this now, let us run this project and see our result. Okay, so let's allow location usage, and let's wait for it. Okay, so if you look at it, my current location is Amsterdam. I don't know why this end of stream is what's it called. So let's if I check other option here, so let me bring this out here. So the current location on my emulator is Amsterdam based on this latitude and longitude. Okay, so I happen to know that somewhere in Belgium is around 50. So if I set this to 50 and I'll click on send. So by the time I try to run this again. Let me try to run this again and see. I've changed the location from 52.3702 to 50.372.3702, and that location is somewhere around Belgium. Yeah. Okay. So you can see, say I'm in Profondeville. This is a city in Belgium. Okay. So uh, now you can see that we are getting the um, weather information based on our current uh, location, and we are doing that by extracting the geo coordinates from the device. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is to um, set a background image based on the current location. Okay, so and I'll be making use of an API from Pixels.com. Pixels.com is a platform where you see free stock images and shared by a lot of creators. You can see different images here. So I'm going to be calling their API and passing in the location to get the current the image of that place. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is to create a class model that will hold all the add new. What the class will do is to hold the objects that we're going to use to deserialize the response from the Pixels API. So I'm going to call this BG obj, just like that. I will remove this. So I already have a class that I've created that will help me with this, with the background information. So I'm going to copy and paste right here. Okay, so we have three different classes. You can see the relationship from this background info. We have an array of photos, and photo also contain other information like width, height, the URL, the photographer, and the source. And from the source, we have different sources. We have the original, we have large, 2x, large, medium, small, portrait. So depending on the size that you want, you can get that from the source. Okay, so now at this stage, what I want to do is to have a method, and what the method will do is to call the Pixels API, okay, to get the background image. So I'm gonna call it a private method, private async void. Let's call it get background. Background. Get background. Now, so let's set the URL the for the API. So this is the URL for the API. It's api.pixel.com /v1 search query equals location and some other query parameters right here. Okay, since I already have an API color helper class here. If you see, let's see if I can still see it. Yeah, this I have an API color helper class here that helps to do to get um, to do the API call. So I'm going to just make use of that next here. So I'm going to save our result, the result object equals with API color dot get, and I'm going to pass in the URL. Now the Pixel API takes an authorization ID that's going to be passed to the header. And when I was setting up this color, I've already taken into consideration if we have um, auth ID should pass it. Okay, so before I continue from there, I just see that I need to change this. Instead of this, I'm going to just let's add a new parameter called authorization, and the value will be the auth ID. So this is the implementation I want to use. Okay, so that's the modification I'm going to do on that one. All right, so the API takes an auth ID. So I've already, so if you want to get your own, you have to go register on their platform. But I've already registered, so I'm going to bring in my own auth ID to this place. Okay, so now the next thing is to check if we have a successful uh, call. So if results that's successful, at that stage you want to deserialize the response. So say bg info equals JSON convert dot deserialize object. So we're going to deserialize to the type of background info. That's the class that we created, if you can still remember. And we're going to pass in the JSON string that is coming. That's in our results dot response. Okay. Now let's check if the BG object is not null, it's not equals to null, and we want to get out some information. Okay, so it's just one information I'm going to get out, so I'll leave it like this. So we'll say BG image. So this is our image control in our XAML. So the name is BG image. Let me show you. So this is it, BG image. So BG image, then want to set the source dot source. You can set the source directly, but just I just want to use the image source. You can set the string directly, but I want to set the image source from URL. Say new URL, new URI rather, and now we can pass in our URI, our string. So our string is in bg info. We want to take the first the photos dot photo bg source of photo. Oh, sorry, this is bg image. So bg info dot photos. Now I want to take the first photo and get the source dot src, then the size that we want. So let's use the medium size. Okay, so that is how you get the source, the image source out of it. Now I want to do something right here, and it's such that I want the image to, so the list of photos that we have could be more than one. And instead of picking the first index every time, I want to randomize the selection. So if our result is always like 15 items in the photos, I want to randomize what's going to be selected. So you have different images different times. So what I'm going to do at this stage is right where I'm passing the index. So before I do that, let me say, so I have to change the condition. So if bg is not equals null and bg info dot photos dot length is greater than 0, so that will indicate that we have a photo to pick. So if it's greater than 0, then here what I want to do is let's set a new random dot next, and in this next I want to start from the 0 index, and come in, let's do this URI image. Okay, so I'll be able to see. So I want to start from 0, and I want to use the bg info dot photos dot length -1. So this will take the length of the total item in the list of photos and get a random value from it. Then to pass it, and we'll get the image set as our background. All right. So at this stage, what I now want to do is, after getting the forecast, let's also get our background image. So I'm going to call the get background image after getting a forecast right here. Okay, so let's run this and see what we have. So our location is still Belgium, and you should be able to see image of a place in Belgium. Our background image change. Oh. Unexpected end of stream. I don't know why this error is showing. Should not be. Let's find a solution. Okay, let's run this again. Okay, so you see we have our background changing to another image. So what I'm going to do here is stop, and let's launch this again. We'll see. You see our background has changed to another image. So this is the random part, random code, or random implementation. This is the result. All right, guys, that's it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. If you have enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, like it, click the like button, and also don't forget to subscribe so that you can get notification when I upload new content. Please endeavor to subscribe, because this will encourage me to do more videos like this. I have videos that I've planned to work on in the future, and the way I will know that you guys are getting value out of this channel is for you to subscribe. All right, thank you very much for subscribing, and don't forget to share this video with friends, families, and your community. Let people also benefit from it. Thank you very much, and I will see you in the next video.